Hello, fellow Earthlings. I bet you're wondering who I am. Why I'm in a big, empty office space all on my own. And what this YouTube channel is about. To answer those questions, we gotta go through some of the basics. If you noticed, this channel talks about body, mind, soul, and business. But before we get into those, let's get into my name. My name is Laith Khoury, Laith. However, when you translate it to Swahili, it's Simba. That's right, like the Lion King. Now, funny enough, if you translate Laith into Greek, it's Leonidas, as the Greeks say. However, if you say it like the Americans, it's Leonidas. Now, when we get into business, fun fact, could be coincidence, or maybe it was intentional. You be the judge. Now, that being said, I launched a business called Spartan Services and Consulting. That business offers manpower solutions with, the mindset of that movie. What was that movie called? 300? So that kind of coordination and leadership and ability and capabilities and thriving against all odds. Despite losing, they really got a long way into that battle. So the concept was, call it Spartan Services and Consulting, offer manpower solutions, and that is the quality of manpower that we offer, whether it is through employer of record, which is an offshoring solution to cut costs for companies in the US, in the UK, in the GCC region. Whether it is executive search, we will find you a leader that is equivalent of Leonidas anywhere in the world. And then, of course, you have the recruitment process outsourcing, which is where you get a dedicated recruiter for bulk hiring needs, because you don't want someone who is handling your leadership roles to also be doing bulk work. So you got to keep that apart. I also host a a podcast. I'm not really sure you would call it a podcast. It's called Leaders Talk with Leo. And if you want to look it up, it's leaders-talk.com. There we interview people who are mental health professionals. We interview people who are industry leaders who have gone from family business to successful transition to corporate governance. And we've interviewed, ex-IBM executives. We've had guests such as Mr. Ghassan Nukhul come on our show. We had Bob McGannon, who is the curator of the book Intelligent Disobedience. We also have had a legendary AI and digital presentation expert, Dave Burse, who is an amazing human being, also a musician. And we've had a lot of amazing, nice people that I'm always going to be appreciative of and hopefully always be in contact with. I know that me and Bob will be hosting something here in the coming weeks. And when we talk about body, let's move on away from business because it's boring. No one gives a... Anyways, so when we talk about body, I have been through phases of being fat, of being super skinny, of trying to gain weight, of trying to lose weight, of trying to, I've been through all of it. I've been athletic. So I used to, when I was in college, I did a lot of rock climbing. I did running almost daily. I would do weightlifting here and there, but I didn't really enjoy it at that time. But before I went to college, I was in a military academy called Culver Academies. And that was one of the places where I fell in love with resistance training and powerlifting. I joined the team there and we won nationals. Me as an individual, I won second place in the national championships and third place in the state championships. And since then, I fell in love with weightlifting and I've been on and off with it for a long time. Needless to say, I gained a lot of weight. I got up to 156 kilograms, which is the equivalent of, I want to say, almost 300 pounds. My math isn't that good. Maybe 340 pounds. But when I lost that weight, I went through some real aggression in terms of putting all my effort into losing that weight. But it came back. But what I did most recently, and this time, was I took I actually got certified as a personal trainer, as a strength and conditioning specialist, and as a nutrition coach. I didn't get these certifications for the sake of taking on clients. I got them because I feel that when you know the science of how you're gonna lose weight and what this piece of sugar at 9 p.m. at night is gonna do to your body, and how many grams of fat you might gain just from this little gram of sugar. When you know the science involved of how to lose weight, how to build muscle, what your body does and everything, and how it interacts with supplements and with vitamins and with macronutrients and micronutrients and all of these things, you don't need to depend on anyone, and you begin to subconsciously in the back of your mind think about things before you do them, and that's the right approach to sustainable weight loss. In addition to body, let's move to mind actually. So when we talk about mind, I went through a phase where I was working on my master's in organizational psychology at the University of Liverpool online. I did not complete the program, so what they awarded me with was a postgraduate award in psychology. I did do really well in the couple of courses that I took. One was behavior, mind, brain, and behavior. I loved that course. And the second one was social psychology. These were the two that I really liked the most. And social psychology was fantastic. I mean, I love everything about being a human, whether it's sales, marketing, HR, psychology, fitness, nutrition. I am in it to optimize myself as a human and hopefully others in my journey. Now, when we talk about the soul, when I was 4 years old, I used to come in hot, sliding in on my socks, and singing and entertaining my mom's friends. Yes, I was a singer at the age of 4, singing things like James Brown, Frank Sinatra. Wow, I feel good. Anyways, so what this page is also about is about expressing yourself artistically, whether it's through music, whether it's through visual arts such as painting, even if it's digital visual, doesn't matter. The range is infinite of what we can do. But the overarching concept of this YouTube channel is to create holistic and well-rounded individuals, despite anything else. So when we talk about being well-rounded, I see a lot of entrepreneurs gain a lot of weight or lose a lot of weight, unhealthy amounts, and they bury themselves in their work and they become desperate and they forget to take care of themselves. When I see people that are stuck in jobs that are 9 hours a day, minimum 5 days a week, you see a lot of people struggle to lose that weight and to be fit and to be doing the things that they really want to do. People forget that you really do have to take care of yourself. And one of the biggest things that one of the biggest achievements I've ever achieved was actually quitting smoking. I smoked for about 20 years, give or take 3 years, 4 years. And when I quit in November, I was so stressed trying to get my business off the ground that without realizing it, I was smoking 3 packs a day. And I started having heart palpitations for the first time in my life. And for those of you who don't know what a heart palpitation feels like, it feels like your heart is skipping a beat. It's so uncomfortable and scary if you don't know what's happening. And even if you do know what's happening, sometimes if you have enough anxiety, just thinking about heart palpitations gives you heart palpitations. So a week went by with heart palpitations, and I didn't say anything to my wife. I kept it to myself, didn't say anything to anyone really. And I was just thinking it would go away. It did not. So the second week I told my wife, and she made me go see the doctor. At the doctor's appointment, in the waiting room, I had a panic attack. And for those of you who think you've had a panic attack, you'll know if you had a real panic attack, because my throat closed up. I couldn't talk. The doctor was asking me questions. I really couldn't answer this doctor. I was terrified, and they put on a halter so they can measure my heartbeat for 2 or 3 days with some tape. They had to shave my chest and God knows what. And they said, keep doing what you always do, blah, 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 and keep smoking. We just want to get a good measurement of what's happening to your body. So I got back to my office after I left the doctor's appointment, and I tried to smoke another cigarette, and I couldn't do it. I turned it off. I closed my laptop, and I went walking about 5 kilometers back to my house, and I left my car there on purpose because I knew cardio helps get rid of the heart palpitations a bit. So I knew I was looking for some sort of relief. And on the way, while I was packing up before I left my office, I made sure I packed up all of my tobacco paraphernalia. And when I was walking out, and I was walking all the way back, those 5 kilometers back to my house, I threw away every single one of those packs and lighters and devices into the trash can, into like a big, dumpster. And I kept walking, and I haven't smoked a single cigarette since. And that was back in November 2024. Today is almost September 2025. So this has almost been a year ago. Best thing I ever did in my life. And we're going to be talking about things like that. What nicotine does to your body. What sugar does to your body. When is an appropriate time to have sugar? What kind of sugar? Fructose, or simple sugars, or complex sugars. All these things can be avoided and mitigated, and so on and so forth. We're also going to be documenting our own journeys in fitness. So I know that I just signed up to do the Amman Marathon, which I'm worried about because it's all mountains, ups and downs. And also I don't really have a good pair of shoes for running, so gotta invest in that. That's about it. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. If you want to learn more about our Manpower solutions, that's SpartanSC.co. If you want to watch our past episodes with Leaders Talk, that's leaders-talk.com. If you want to learn more about me, it's leokhoury.me. And that's about it. Feel free to connect on LinkedIn. I also have an Instagram. And yeah, I'm looking forward to this channel, this new chapter. I did forget one thing, didn't I? What was it that I forgot? Oh, how did I get in this office space? Ha! So, we have our operations at SpartanSC in another building, but I needed space to create marketing content for Leaders Talk, for Spartan, for everything. And that's what this space is. And luckily, I was fortunate enough to be given this office space to me by my partner. And here we go. We have this room, which is going to be used for creative things, such as guitar lessons. Maybe we're going to create an e-learning course for how to play guitar. We're going to have this for Leaders Talk. We're going to have this place for creating our e-learning courses, and of course for our YouTube content, live seminars, and every now and then we'll just have meetings maybe from here as well. That's it. Have a good one.